be doing some messages from our ancestors on things that they feel like need to be exposed at this time, or things that are going to be being exposed in the near future. I'm kind of feeling like a lot of these are going to be things that need to be, or that are going to be being exposed in the near future. So, thank you guys so much for whatever you do to support this channel and my work. I really appreciate it. Anybody who is donating or purchasing, anybody who purchases anything from my Amazon wish list, or likes, shares, comments, subscribes, anything that you guys do to support this channel, or even to share with others about your experiences or anything like that, really appreciate you guys. So thank you for that, and thank you as well to our beautiful ancestors for being here to bring those messages to us and to help facilitate these readings. Hi Ladybug, I did see your purchase. I got the money, and you can go ahead and throw your question down there anytime, and I will answer it between the piles. So let's get into this reading. We got pile 1, 2, and 3. Take a moment to get in touch with your intuition and your higher self and pick the pile you feel most drawn to. Princess! And then we will get started with pile 1. Princess! Get your little butt back here. The princess is taking off. We got to go get her really quick. Beautiful. I am doing paid questions today, so if you wanted to throw a payment down there, I can answer your question. Otherwise, you can check out my pick a card readings. There might be one that resembles what you're looking for, or I also offer personal readings where we can do it not on here as well. So, since you got that question in there before I started pile 1, I'm going to go ahead and do your question now. Come on, Sadie. Don't you start being a butt, too. I love you, Miss Princess. So, anyway. Come on, Sadie. Come here. These guys are suddenly being stubborn. So, Ladybug, your question. How do they feel about you in the relationship currently? You know they're looking at houses. We got the King of Stakes. We got the Nine of Stakes. We got the Page of Chalices. And the Chariot. So these are the cards. So, they feel like they owe you an apology for something that they did when they were in a lot of darkness and despair. They're wanting to move forward because they know what they want at this point. They're feeling very passionate, very motivated, very driven to succeed. They may even be feeling very driven to express their love. They might have been more focused on sexual matters or something in the past, or even things that they feel like were kind of silly in the past. And now they're kind of seeing more what is important to them. They might have actually saw you very differently in the past than what you actually are as well. They might have actually thought that you were a gold digger, or like you cared more about material things than love, or, you know, maybe you cared more about your job or your career or something along those lines than love. They may have mistaken you for being shallow in some way. And they may have done something because of that assumption that they're looking to apologize for. They're definitely feeling like they want to move things forward and they want to take action to express their feelings, though. There may even be something about a car here as well that they're thinking about in some way. They may also be thinking that they know you from a past life as well. Or like they've known you for a very long time. Even if they haven't, They may feel like they just really know you very deeply at this point. Maybe in the past they really didn't know you very well, and they could have made some assumptions off of that shallow notion of you that they're just looking to fix. They may be looking to redeem themselves in some sort of way. So there might actually be some sort of gift that they may be presenting to you as well when it comes to trying to repair things between the two of you. I hope that actually be really wanting to call you or maybe talk to you more often as well. They may be feeling like you guys need to talk more, or like there's some sort of distance in between you that they're wanting to bridge this gap on, and they may feel like it's kind of their fault or they're responsible for it in some sort of way. That's what it seems like anyway. Yeah, he may be wanting to show you the real him. He may not have presented himself as the real him. He might have been like trying to show off, or he might have been in his ego a little bit, or he might have been trying to appear as someone that he isn't, because maybe he felt like whatever qualities that he was trying to represent were qualities that you really cared about in a person, and that's where that kind of like shallowness energy is coming in. So we are getting started with pile 1. Nice to see you, Kiss JG. This is pile 1, guys. So there could definitely be, for this pile, something getting ready to be exposed about some sort of contract that was made, or there may be like some sort of product that somebody has made or put a patent in on, or something along those lines. Somebody may be making money off of something, and somebody, there could be some sort of like identity fraud or identity theft, or there could be some sort of like arrangement or agreement, or something that has to do with somebody that has been two-faced in some sort of way, because we got this two-faced sign is calling out to me as much as the money one. Somebody had money on their mind, and this lovely little list contract here. 33, you're very protected, heavily protected. What's coming to mind right now is I'm the little homie all the G's want to be like, on my knees in the night saying prayers in the street light. Been spending most of our lives living in the gangster's paradise. So for some of you guys, there may be a lot of people that are very inspired by you as well. Somebody might have actually been using your work in some way, or there could have been somebody could have actually recently signed a contract as well, or maybe signing a contract in the future that has something to do with music as well. So we have this jazz festival, Highland 5th annual jazz festival, 2014 could be important here as well. ASU. Music is definitely something that's very important. There might be some messages for you in music as well. And for some of you, this is a sign that you really need to expose yourself, show yourself. You may have been hiding in some sort of way so as not to like eclipse a lot of the people around you. You have a very colorful personality. You're very bright. You're very inspiring. You're very beautiful. And it's time to really showcase that and put it out there on Front Street. There may be some sort of ideas that you have, or some sort of something like that that could be very important. Empty threats, I just heard. So you might have received some sort of threats from somebody. You might be worried about that, but these threats are empty, collectible. For some of you, there could have been something of yours that was stolen, that was worth some sort of money, that somebody has collected on in some way. And for some reason, like, somebody might feel like their relationship with you, or their whatever they had going on with you, was somewhat high profile in some sort of way, and it kind of gave them like a boost. So there could be something about a clout chaser here too. We have this daisy. Ooh. There might be some sort of collaboration that may be going on as well. The daisy is symbolizes the day's eye. So being able to see things very clearly, things really being brought out into the open, a light being shined on things that have been hidden, or a light being shined on things that have been confusing or you've been unsure about in some way. There might be something to do with kids here as well. We have this bracelet, but this bracelet is also another daisy as well. So it's a confirmation of that message of things really being brought out into the open, being made clear, picture perfect, like really finding out what was going on in certain situations in some way. Ugh, you guys, come here. Get over here. Get over here, you little poops. Come on. Come on. There is nothing going on over there. Get over here. Wait, these guys are really wanting to run around right now. They're having a hard time sitting still. So some of you could actually have a hard time sitting still right now too. You might be like on the edge of your seat waiting for whatever this is to be revealed in some way. Be happy, be brave, be drug-free. Red Ribbon Week. I pledge to be drug-free. October 23rd to 31st. So somebody might actually be pulling themselves out of some sort of addiction, or somebody might be gaining the confidence to stand strong in their power in some way. 1144. And you might have actually inspired somebody to learn, grow, or overcome the obstacles, or somebody may be inspiring you to do that in some way. Somebody might actually be recognizing you for the work that you've done to inspire them or in some way help them. Somebody might actually be gifting you in some way for the gifts you've brought into their life in some way. You have this sleeping moon, this dreaming moon with a star. Somebody might be sleeping on their gifts or their talents. Some of you might actually find out that there might have been something that you were procrastinating about doing that somebody else has stepped into in some way or decided to take care of. There's a bunch of guys on this one with guns, which is actually kind of reminding me of the Five of Swords. Could be a shotgun that's important. 2017. So something 6 years ago could be important. George Rogers Clark, Indiana. 25 cents. 50 cent. Yeah, there could definitely be something involving music here. 73. Could be somebody's year of birth. Hi, Zarak. Nice to see you. Somebody's getting very grounded. Somebody may be spending a lot of time in nature. There could actually be somebody getting ready to go on vacation as well, or getting ready to move somewhere. You may be invited to go on vacation somewhere for some of you. We have Capricorn, ambitious. Somebody might have let their ambitious nature or their love of money get in the way of something in some way. Someone might have actually deceived you in some way, or someone could have paid somebody to do something here that wasn't very good. And this person could have a lot of addictions, or they could have, just been very materialistic, or they could have, jumped on this without really even thinking about it. 55. And they may have realized some things since then. They may have decided they don't want to be a part of this anymore. For some of you, this person might have actually just had something happen to them or something, and that could be part of that. They could actually be dealing with the consequences of turning something down or saying no to something. TOY. Somebody could be inventing a new toy. Q. AI replica is coming to mind now. Hush. So there could be something about a robot, or like or about a kid's toy, or Somebody could have taken an idea of somebody's, or somebody could have patented something. Somebody could be making a contract in some way. Just be careful about any kind of contracts that you're getting into. 65. Make sure you're reading the fine print on it. The Wheel of Fortune. And it could be that somebody didn't read the fine print in the past and could have actually been doing something that they didn't even realize they were doing, or something like that. The Sun. Osiris. The Gatekeeper. The Hermit. 35. 46. Somebody could have viewed you as a gatekeeper, or somebody could have went through somebody else to get to you in some way. The Three of Swords. And in this particular Three of Swords, this is the part where she's walking in on her mother, and her mother is dead. The Ace of Stakes. And she actually finds out later that magic played a part in that in some way, because when they made her sister and they messed with everyone's memories, it kind of affected her mom's brain to where she ended up with the tumor in there. There could actually be a death that ends up uncovering some secrets. Oh, your mom passed away. That is so sad. I'm sorry. There could be a death that is going to be causing some sort of secrets to be revealed. There could be some sort of hidden debts, or there could be some sort of hidden policy that you don't know about yet. There could actually be somebody that's getting ready to express something that they haven't told anyone before they pass away as well. Dead men can't lie is what's coming to mind right now. There's actually a friend of mine wrote a song called Dead Men Can't Lie. Well, wouldn't necessarily say friend. We aren't quite that close enough to be called that, but you know. Yo-yo. Wake me up before you go. Don't leave me hanging here like a yo-yo. Someone might actually feel like you're just going to disappear on them in some sort of way. Everything in your life is getting ready to change, though, and there's going to be a lot of things that are going to be becoming very clear for you in the near future. You may be spending a fair amount of time alone, and this may actually be helping you to figure things out, or it may be helping you to get your energy straight or to ground yourself in some way. And whatever this pain or loss or grief or sadness is, or whatever this loss of life is, or this ending is going to create a lot of new beginnings for you. You're going to be having a lot of new perspectives, understanding, ideas. There may be a lot of new things coming to you. You might actually be receiving some sort of communication from this person after they passed as well. Hi, Rashima. Nice to see you. If some of you have been having some sort of issues because of some sort of pain in your life or loss in your life, somebody may be wanting to take action to clarify some things for you, or to let you know how important you are to them. Somebody might be wanting to really make you feel like you are valuable in some way, because they may feel like you are feeling very alone, or very hurt, or very out in the cold, or like you may be getting ready to go down a slippery slope in some sort of way. So they may want to stop this descent into madness, or this descent down a rabbit hole, or something like that. So there might actually be somebody coming in to support you unexpectedly in some sort of way as well, just to let you know that you're not alone. So that's what I have for pile 1, you guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed this reading. I would really love to hear what you guys had to say about it, whether or not it resonated, what you might be going through, all that kind of good stuff. And thank you guys so much for whatever support you send this way, whether it be liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing, leaving timestamps or donations. Anybody that makes purchases or leaves tips or anything like that, thank you guys so much for everything that you do. If you don't know it, the support you guys send my way helps me to be able to support myself as I'm here to support you guys on your path. So thank you so much for that once again. And I hope you guys have a beautiful night or day, whatever it is, wherever you are when you're watching. Bye-bye, guys. Pile 2. For you guys, let's get into this and see what is going on in your reading. So, poll, an opinion poll. There could have been somebody that was breaking into your car at some point. There could have been somebody who may have stole something from you, or and this person knows that you knew about it and you still forgave them. You had a lot of unconditional love for this person. You still have a lot of unconditional love for this person. But this might be somebody that you have a lot of distance in between the two of you right now. You may have walked away for one reason or another, or something along those lines. This person may want to come and express their love for you, or they may want to come and let you know about something. They might want to actually come clean about something. They may even want to come clean about something that was going on around you in a different way. For some of you, there could actually be something about a car alarm here as well, like a car alarm going off periodically, or something along those lines. You're welcome, sweetheart. Thank you for being here as well. Somebody could be getting a new car as well. Some of you could be coming into some form of money, or coming across something that's very valuable. So you might actually be able to purchase your own car. For some of you, it could actually be somebody that you're connected to that's coming into this. And to make up for some of the things in the past, they may be wanting to maybe purchase you a new car or help you repair your car, or they may be wanting to do something as like a peace offering in some way. 1 57 88 0 21 80 20 32. A battery could be important. A GM could be important. General manager or a GM, like a car. You're very protected. Just how much protection you have is going to be being exposed to some people who underestimated you at some point in the very near future. Your ideas are protected. Your passion's protected. Your sacral chakra is protected. Some people could have tried to attack your sacral chakra in some way, or could have tried to really bombard you with some sort of sexual energy or temptations in some way. They're getting ready to see that this was a bad idea, if that's the case. Abundance, fertility, and growth are coming into your life. Balance and peace and harmony. You're very protected, and what you're building is very protected. What you're growing is very protected. You have a very eternal type of protection. Your eternal reward. Jafar just popped in my mind where he was talking to Aladdin, and he kind of revealed himself in that moment, and he's like, your eternal reward. He thought he won before he actually won, you know? And he was kind of counting those chickens before they hatched, and then all of a sudden, you know, he's the one who lost. No matter how powerful he thought he was, and no matter how much he abused his power, and no matter how much he tried to manipulate and twist things to work out in his favor, at the end of the day, it didn't. And it won't be. Because it's going to be working out in your favor. And it's because you guys are very pure at heart. You're very kind-hearted, very loving, very childlike in the way that you love. Very unconditionally loving, forgiving, generous, kind. I feel like a lot of you, even everything that is going on, even in this situation, you have forgiven at this point. And you're allowing things to unfold naturally the way that they're meant to happen, and you're really just having a lot of faith in this moment. You're not holding a grudge, you're not seeking revenge, and that is what is going to be bringing these blessings and this abundance into you. You may even be praying for the people who have hurt you in whatever way. There may be a new house coming to some of you. There might be a trip coming to some of you. Some of you might actually be getting ready to go on a very fun trip. There might be somebody here getting ready to go to like Disney World or Land or something like that. Some of you could be finding a room, like a locked room or a hidden room, or some of you might actually be getting like a safe private space to be able to take the time to do something creative that you're wanting to do. Some of you might be getting a trip away or something with the girls or with your friends or with your children. There's this little porcupine here. So somebody could be a little bit defensive, somebody could be a little bit rough around the edges, somebody could have some trust issues, or somebody could be kind of hard to reach or hard to get to in some sort of way. You might have actually gotten pricked or hurt trying to get through this barrage of quills to get inside. Or somebody else could have felt like that's what it was, but somebody's willing to do the work, and this work is going to be paying off, because this unconditional love is going to be being returned to you. The unconditional love you may have shown a child, or you may have shown a friend, or you may have shown a loved one in some way, is going to be being gifted back to you. Somebody is going to be seeing the truth about something, knowing the truth about something. You might actually be being forgiven for something as well from somebody, 35, for some actions that you may have taken. You may be very surprised to know that somebody still loves you even when they find out something that may be going on. But then again, you've earned that because you have been there to love them, even with the things that you found out. And for some of you, you might be getting like a very shocking surprise about something. And the biggest shocking surprise of all is going to be that even when you find this out, 45, it's not going to diminish the love you have in whatever way. 1964, D. Halloween. Liberty, in God we trust. United States of America, 1 cent. The Lincoln Center. Copper could be very important. And once again, for some of you, you're going to be running across something that is very valuable as well. For some of you, somebody could have actually taken something that was very valuable from you, and they may be returning it. Or somebody else could have found something very valuable, and they may want to transform your life in some sort of way. They may want to help you in some sort of way, or vice versa. You might be doing that yourself. Go and pet all the dogs. Oddly enough, I walked up to some random stranger's car the other night and was like, "Can I pet your dog?" And you know, lots of interesting conversation has come from it. 2002 could be important, or just the number 2. Jones Soda Company, your soda, your brand. So for some of you, you could actually be creating your own brand of something, twist off. Some of you could be making a name for yourself, trademarking something. Some of you could actually be going into modeling in some sort of way, or acting in some sort of way. Aquarius again. Cancer. So there could definitely be something to do with family here as well. The family room. Nurturing, caring, loving. Your generosity, your kindness, your heart has been something that has really led the way for other people to find the love within themselves again. You may have brought people back to themselves. You may have been able to rise above the judgment, to keep an open mind, to keep an open heart. You may have poured love on, even when it was hard to do. It's reminding me of like a caretaker, because a caretaker, you know, nobody really talks about the fact that they are literally abused day in and day out. Literally. It's a toxic relationship in a toxic situation. And they go to work every day, and they're in for a lot of abuse generally, especially if they're dealing with patients that have like dementia or Alzheimer's, or if they have patients that just are really fucking rude. They're not able to move all day, or they're not able to do a whole lot, and they're just upset and miserable, and mad at the world. A lot of them are verbally abusive, mentally abusive, emotionally abusive, and yet they get up every day and they go in and they do this. It's kind of a very thankless job a lot of times. We do this with our families a lot of times too, because that's what unconditional love is. They're hurt and they're going through something and they're in pain and they have a lot going on, but we know that they're human, and we forgive them and we love them, and we try to rise above that judgment, try to keep an open mind, we try to be positive about situations, we try to remind them of the good things in life and get them back on track and have them feeling good. And some of you might actually end up having somebody open your eyes to that. After so long of doing that for everybody else, you might be having a really hard time seeing that at this point in time. And you might actually have somebody that does that for you. And for some of you at this point, you could be very defensive because of everything that has happened along this journey and everything that these people have done in some way. And so it could be really hard to reach in there, 41, and to pull that part of you out again. You might be a little bit defensive. You might be like on the attack, or have a little bit of trust issues to deal with certain people. But there's going to be something that's going to be happening that is going to show you that it is okay to trust and to love again and to open up your heart again. 35. To be yourself again. Because you know what? Sometimes we can get into this energy of, not giving, not loving, not being generous and kind with that, not being empathetic or forgiving or understanding. Because it's like, no, I have put up with too much. I'm not doing it anymore. I don't want to be around it anymore. It's not good for my health and all this other kind of stuff, And then you're just sitting there alone in your defensive little house of pain and sadness and loss. And then sometimes those hurt people end up getting better. And sometimes new people come along to, break us open. And we are that hurt person that's hurting people now and lashing out at people and, causing some pain and some hurt because of the pain we're in. And then it also reduces that judgment we have of others when they're in that pain and they're lashing out and they're hurting others because of how they're feeling as well. So some of you are getting an eye-opener in that way, because you might be realizing some of the ways that maybe you've hurt others while you were in pain, or others are kind of having this shocking eye-opener of, holy shit, look at all these things that I did while I was in pain. I need to make this right. So somebody's looking to make things right, whether it's you or somebody else around you. Quilt, TLC. So we got QLTPLO, lock, lot, a vacant lot, a piece of land, a plot, maybe even like a plot in a graveyard. There might have been a plot or a plan that was going on as well, that maybe is getting exposed or is going to be being seen just in time or something like that. Somebody might be planning something in some way, maybe even a trip, toll, death toll, and paying the toll. What's coming to mind with that one is the troll bridge, where the trolls were guarding this bridge and were bullies and were making people pay to get through in some way, and weren't allowing people to go about their way, or weren't allowing people to get to the other side without making payment to them in some sort of way. Somebody's bullying behavior may be being seen in some way. And it could be something that took a long time for somebody to come out of, for somebody to recognize. But somebody's recognizing somebody's love, somebody's kindness, care, forgiveness, somebody's positive attitude, and the way that they've really put a lot of time, effort, and energy into healing things, growing things, building things, nurturing and caring for those around them. And I feel like there's going to be some sort of big recognition, and maybe even some sort of gift or purchase that's made to help out, or maybe even a donation, or a purchase of land is the biggest thing that's coming to mind for me. So somebody might have been really hoping for or praying for some sort of purchase of land or house or car in some way, and that could be something that may be coming up for you, is this like miracle to really help you in whatever position that you're in at this time, because you might be in a position that is just really hard to be in, and you've been there to help everybody else. So somebody might be getting ready to rush in to be there to help you. Somebody might actually be even doing something very impulsively because of these thoughts they're having at this time. It could very well be, Ladybug. There's definitely some learning going on here too. Maybe some of you had some things to learn on this specific journey, especially when it comes to like judgment, or when it comes to forgiveness, or when it comes to acceptance and love, and what actual unconditional love is, and how you grow that within your world, and how you nurture that. We have death. Somebody may be moving very quickly or impulsively to end something, or somebody may be uncovering something with the death of somebody. And if that's the case, you might want to check out pile 1. Somebody may be getting ready to pull the curtains and see what's been going on behind the scenes. And it could have looked like something like very scary, or something intimidating, or something like that from the outside. And it might actually turn out to be something that's not nearly as bad as you were thinking it was. And somebody's plots could actually be being revealed and uncovered at this time too. Why somebody did something, or J, why somebody was protected in some way, or why somebody was protecting somebody else. Somebody might have actually had some sort of blackmail on somebody, or some sort of information on somebody. They might have actually even had like pictures or video of somebody that they were trying to use as blackmail in some sort of way, or they did use as blackmail in some sort of way, and this person kind of bent to their will and allowed them to puppeteer them in some way because of these things they had against them that they didn't want anybody to see. But somebody may be getting ready to make things right before they pass away. 45, they may actually be getting ready to express what's been going on, and maybe even come clean about these things that somebody held against them. They're taking their power back, and they're going to come clean about the things that somebody's holding against them, so that they can move forward, and so that they can really make things right in some way. Because somebody may be actually feeling very angry about the way things are going right now in someone's life because of this other person. And they are getting the courage finally to be able to act on what's right. 44. 10 of Pentacles and the King of Cups. So somebody could have actually had a fair amount of money as well, and they could have been using this to kind of gear things to their, or bend things to their will as well. Or somebody could have impulsively taken action with their money in some way to try to set something up, maybe even to end somebody in their life, or to end something for somebody. Somebody might have actually paid somebody to go away, or somebody could have paid somebody to watch somebody. There could have been like a private detective or something like that that could have actually been monitoring a situation in some sort of way, because somebody didn't want to have to walk away, or didn't want to have to leave somebody in some sort of position, but they didn't have really any other choice. So they might have actually hired somebody else to keep an eye on this situation and to report back to them, or to uncover things as well. You might be moving very quickly as well towards independence, stability, success, self-confidence. And somebody might be watching, really nervous and wanting to express some sort of love that they have towards you, especially if they're getting close to passing over. They may want to really tell you how much you mean to them, how valuable you are to them, and maybe even recognize your skills, or recognize the successes they've had in their life because of you, or some sort of knowledge that maybe you provided for them, or wisdom that you provided for them. Die happy for a moment, happy because you gave me your spare time. So somebody might even actually be wanting to thank you for spending your time with them at the end of their life, and they may have actually left you something for this as well. Somebody could have known about it and could have tried to stop it, or could have tried to interfere in some sort of way. But somebody might have actually left you something to thank you for being there at the end of their life, especially if you're a caregiver, or if you spent the end of somebody's life with them. So that is for pile 2. I really hope you guys enjoyed this reading, 41. I would love to hear what you guys had to say about it, whether or not it resonated. How do I tell you that I don't have long to live? You just tell people. That's how you do it. Potluck. You tell people. Maybe even, have a dinner and have everybody over, and, everybody gets all weird and it's an awkward situation, but you just tell people. And somebody's ready to tell people about whatever's been going on behind the scenes, or, something like that. If somebody's sick or something, they're ready to tell people. Awesome, beautiful. I got your payment, and you can throw your question down there at any time. Thank you guys once again for whatever support you send this way, whether it be liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing, leaving timestamps, donations, making purchases. Anything you guys do to support me on my path helps me to be able to be here to support you guys on your path. So thank you so much for that. And we are going to answer this question before we go to pile 3. So, Ladybug. Does your family members recognize their scapegoating, or will they? And the harm that they've caused you emotionally? My first thought was, yes, 46, they do recognize this. They may even feel really guilty about it. You might get an apology sometime in the near future. 46 is on there right now, and 42. I ran into somebody recently, and they were like, you can't tell me to go fuck myself if you want to. I was like, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. He knows what he did. And, it's eating him alive enough. I don't need to hold on to it. It's eating him alive enough. I don't need to say nothing. He already knows. And I feel like there's definitely some people that have done this to you that are suffering guilt, remorse, maybe even kind of destroying or hurting themselves, 43, in some sort of way because of the pain that they've caused you. And there may be one or two that really are kind of oblivious to it, There's going to be some sort of changes, and maybe even reconciliations. There might be some sort of healing that takes place in these connections. 44. A lot of what's going on right now is helping you to be able to fix your own foundation, fix your own roots. 57. The Wheel of Fortune. There could definitely have been some people that you trusted very much that could have hurt you very deeply. 3 of Cups. And could have blamed you for the way situations fell apart, but at the end of the day, they know that they were the ones that couldn't be themselves, that you were being yourself, that you were very forthright, 47, very truthful, very honest, that you were very decisive, and you knew where you wanted to go. Once again, very truthful and honest. Somebody may be coming towards you with a message of truth and honesty as well. Somebody may be getting ready to make an apology that's just as public as the hurt and pain, 44, 44, that they put you through. Somebody's kind of stuck in two minds, unsure of exactly how they should do this or what move they should make. They're kind of indecisive and unsure. They know that they need to just be themselves, and that this is what's going to bring a change into their life. Them being able to be themselves, and them being able to expose who they are, and them being able to accept that, and possibly even being able to repair this friendship in some sort of way, or this connection in some sort of way. Somebody was very unsure about what option to take in a situation as well. Slow and steady wins the race. Very burdened. They know they put a lot of burdens on you, that you were a very responsible person, that you were a very patient person and dedicated. They also may even know that you were a target in some way, as far as somebody could have thought that you were like an easy target to be able to put that blame on, so that they didn't have to take responsibility for something. But at the end of the day, this hurt them more than it ever would have hurt them to take that responsibility, and they're ready to take that responsibility, I feel like. So that's what I have for that question, beautiful. I really hope that that helped you. And we are going to get into pile 3. So pile 3 for you guys. Let's get into this and see what's being exposed, or what you need to know about what's going to be being exposed in the near future. Luck, abundance, joy. Somebody that may have been trying to interfere in your luck in some way, or trying to make you feel like you were unlucky in some way. 27. There could have been some sort of like ganging up. 2020. You're going to be seeing things very clearly after they've been distorted for so long. This is actually a penny. It's really hard to tell it's even a penny, because, you know, it's so distorted, and it was really hard to see that date on there. I actually had to put it in this sliver of light over here to be able to see it. So there's going to be light being shined down on something, and exposing something, exposing some sort of dirt, something that's been swept underneath the rug. You're welcome, beautiful, and thank you as well. Somebody's color was dimmed, or somebody was really trying to dim your color or your vibrancy or your beauty, trying to bring you down in some sort of way. They may have even used communication in some way to try to bring you down, or like to you personally, or maybe even like gossiping behind the scenes. Swimming confidently. Just keep swimming, just keep swimming, just keep swimming, swimming, swimming. Even with everything that's been done, you've been moving along and moving forward very confidently, very boldly. You've been freeing yourself. You're like the phoenix rising up from the ashes and being able to fly again on a new day after that death and after that transformation and that rebirth. So you've been very much so born again in some sort of way. And these things that they have done have really not, they've affected you very deeply, but not in a negative way. It has actually grown you as a person in some sort of way. You have a lot of good luck, a lot of abundance, a lot of blessings coming your way because of the good karma that you have at your doorstep. You've really racked up a lot of good karma for yourself. The key to your heart is within your hands. You may have put your heart on lockdown in some sort of way. You may have even stepped into an energy of feeling extremely alone, like there's nobody you can rely on, nobody you can count on, nobody you can trust. This could have been part of the plan there in what they were doing, was to divide you from other people, and to, united we stand, divided we fall, divide and conquer, There is a reason why people isolate people before they attack them. It's because there's strength in numbers, and when people are alone, it's a lot easier to mess with them in some way. It's kind of like when I was staying at the river recently, and for about 2 months we stayed at the river. There was on average about 4 to 5 people staying down there on a pretty regular basis, 3 to 5 people. And the cops came down there once, and actually twice, and they left because there's a bunch of people there. I was down there by myself one night, and they went down there, 4 of them, so that they could tell me we're not allowed to stay at the river, and they're going to report me for illegal dumping and all kinds of other shit. Fuck last night while they think I'm alone, because actually somebody else was there to see it, which was kind of nice, because it's nice to have people, actually see it. Like 15 fucking times within a matter of 15 to 20 minutes, the cops were circling around my van repeatedly. Or the fact that about 4 or 5 days ago, there was one who placed a abandoned vehicle 47 notice on my van, and I called down there. They sent the officer that placed it there down to talk to me, and the entire time he's got a smug smile and smirk on his face, and he's just being a dick. And I was like, I just wanted to make sure that you guys realize this isn't an abandoned vehicle, which I already know you know anyway, so that it doesn't end up disappearing while I'm gone if I have to go take care of something. And he's like, well, it looked abandoned to me. I was like, my dogs are in it. Nobody abandons their vehicle with their dogs in it. And he's like, yeah, and you do realize that we could take your dogs if you leave them in there, right? And I was like, it's not even the hot part of the day. I got back before the heat of the day even hit. And the windows are open, things like that. And I was like, I just wanted to make sure that you guys aren't going to take my vehicle if I leave, And he's like, well, if somebody complains, we will. And I was like, well, you still have to give me a notice, right? And he's like, well, that was the notice. And I was like, no, that's not the notice, because we just discussed this notice and we decided that it's null and void because my vehicle is not abandoned. So your abandoned vehicle notice is ineffective, basically. And, they wait till I'm alone to be doing those things. And then they gang up on you, which is kind of sad, especially, they got that much power and authority, and they use it to abuse, bully, belittle, harass, stalk people. It's illegal to stalk in this state, yet those cops have been stalking me for 3 years, harassing me constantly and incessantly. I feel like luck is on your side at this time, and if you've been going through something similar to that, it's going to be being exposed, and it's going to be being seen. Oh, it's magic, Da, 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 da. The number 6 or the number 90 could be important. Yes, I am, Tori. You can go ahead and send payment and throw your question down there. Awesome, Ladybug. I will get to that as soon as pile 3 is over. So, Cherry Frosty, since 1939, limeade. Somebody's grandparent could be important as well. Sweet and sour. Some of you could be dealing with a lot of good coming in, and there might actually be 67. Some not so good at the same time that I feel like it's like things being exposed. 67 that you didn't know about, and things that kind of cut deep and hurt. But this is going to be able to free you, and this is going to be able to help you to heal your heart as well. Microphone, so somebody could be speaking about something, or a golf ball, which actually is reminding me of, I used to collect a bunch of golf balls at the park below our apartment, and weirdly enough, when I'm 10 years old, fucking dream I have, there's a shipping container down in the parking lot of that park for some reason, and I was kidnapped by like 5 vampires who locked me in this shipping container, and it's a very R-rated dream. Sad when a 10-year-old's having an R-rated dream like that, but anyway, for some of you there could have actually been something to do with a gang rape as well. Could have even been something to do with some sort of video that you didn't know about, or something along those lines. Some of you could be healing from some sort of past trauma or pain when it comes to that as well, and finally fully being able to move forward. Shipping crate and packaging. PAKEXUKPLC. Place. Pack. X. UK. Somebody could be getting ready to go on a trip. 17. Overseas. 07. 58. 48. 38. So it's like 10 sequences of 10 there. Be right back. BR1B. So if somebody goes away for a minute, don't worry too much, because you know what? It's like they're going to be right back. 27. Give me one reason to stay here, and I'll turn right back around. So somebody could actually be getting ready to do something to make up for something as well. Or you could be telling somebody, hey, look, I gotta go, but you know, if you want me to stay, this is what I need from you. And if you can't do this, then I gotta get out of here. Or something like that as well. So you might actually be getting ready to create a lot of shifts and changes in your life. There could be something about somebody you knew a couple years ago that you haven't seen in a little while. There could be something about somebody like stalking you, or making fake accounts and what's that called? When they like make fake accounts and message you, and I can't remember what it's called right now for some reason, and that's funny because I know that word. This could actually even be somebody that you like trusted very fully. This could be somebody that actually kind of supported you in something, or made you feel really good about something that you were working on, and tried to encourage you to work on it more. 57, which could make it all the more painful when you found out that this person was one of the ones that was behind the fake profiles or something like that. You might even be calling them out on it, or you may have called them out on it recently, because this was given to me by somebody that they messaged me at one point in time, and I had just realized that a couple different accounts were theirs, and I called them out on it. I was like, you know what, and it would be really fucking nice if you quit making fake fucking accounts and messaging me from them. That'd be great. And they didn't anymore, and I haven't seen them since. There could actually be somebody coming back to say something too. Ooh, shit. This is reminding me of Ursula's Poor Unfortunate Souls. Poor unfortunate souls. This one wanting to be thinner, this one wanting to be this, or, you know. And can I help them? Yes, I do. But of course there's a price to pay, right? 57. So somebody could even be feeling like the actions they took in a way was almost like selling their soul, because of how awful of things that they had done, or you might be feeling that way. Some of you might actually be worried about something like that, and kind of overthinking it and constantly worried about it, or concentrating on it. It might actually be blocking some of your blessings from being able to come in. Bartles and James, and somebody might have actually been wanting you to feel that way. 2004, 94. The key to balance will be coming to you. You're going to be balancing yourself out. There's some sort of wisdom that you're going to be coming into, that you're going to be seeing. Some of you might actually end up getting something that you lost that was very important to you back. Somebody might actually bring something back to you that they had taken in the past. Everything you've gone through was the key to going to the next level, and it was the key to being able to have the wisdom and the knowledge and the understanding of these certain circumstances or situations, 9/11, 9/11, so that you could do what you're meant to do in your life, and so that your purpose can come into being. P277, P42, Wallaby Way, Sydney. Somebody could be having some sort of memory issues too, and you might be, some of these hidden or repressed memories might actually be coming back to you in the near future. 47. You might have actually repressed something or forgotten about something, or somebody else could have forgotten about something or repressed something. For some of you, you might be getting the keys to some sort of mailbox or lockbox, or you might be finding a safe. Somebody might actually be finding a safe. Somebody could be magnet fishing or something as well. Some of you might be finding out about something that has happened in somebody else's life that brought balance to them. And somebody might actually be wanting to bring balance into your life in some way as well. The endings of old cycles and the beginnings of new ones. Walking through new doors, parking services. Somebody could have even been trying to claim that you were a prostitute, or some of you could have actually even been so down and out that you might have been living in your vehicle, and you could have had somebody fucking with you on a regular basis, like almost trying to cause you to go crazy, or trying to make you look crazy, or trying to cause you to hurt yourself in some way. Or somebody could have even been trying to hurt you in some sort of way, whether it be mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, sexually. Spiritually transmitted disease, or a sexually transmitted. Hypnotizing. Hypnotherapy could be important here too for somebody. Hypnotizing eyes. Manipulation. The sun will come up tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow there'll be sun. So stick out your chin and grin and say, tomorrow, tomorrow, I love you, tomorrow, you're only a day away. Your angels are watching out for you. You have nothing to worry about. 101 Dalmatians is coming to mind. What ended up happening to Cruella at the end of 101 Dalmatians? Did she end up winning? Did any of those puppies end up dying? No. They didn't. Her plans failed and everything fell through. And at the end of the day, those innocent lives were protected, watched over. There was a lot of different things that conspired and that happened to create a miracle in that situation. And I feel like there's going to be a very positive miracle going on in your life. Miracle on 34th Street just came to mind. And It's a Wonderful Life with the every time a bell rings, an angel gets its wings, 41. I'll be your protector. There's a song called Protector. Good song. So somebody could have actually been sent into your life to protect you in some sort of way. Could even be in dealing with the law. Could be in dealing with an ex. We got Libra, dealing with getting justice or karma, balancing these scales. Cancer, maybe even something to do with your family, work. WRRKX, there could be a radio station. OT, Rot, Roark. Roark is actually the female who was working with the attorney in A Time to Kill too. Bleeding heart liberal that she was. His Republicanness ended up loving her anyway. Lorax. Somebody's greed got the best of them. Somebody acted out of greed. Or there could actually be something involving racism here too. Because A Time to Kill is actually, his daughter was raped by a couple of like 30-year-old white guys, and she was like 10. They hurt her so badly that she wouldn't be able to have children. They left her to die, basically. They had hung her on a branch, and then the branch snapped, and they left her to die. They found her bloody shoe in the back of one of their trucks, and at that time, with where they lived, it was a 98% chance that those two are going to walk free, and they're never going to have to pay for the crime. There's not going to be any justice in this situation, and that drove the father a little bit crazy. He went into that courtroom, and he killed both of them without a second thought. And everybody definitely expected him to end up getting the death penalty and being executed for it. And the lawyer that decided to work with him was harassed mercilessly. Cross burned in his yard. They set his house on fire. His wife and kid ended up having to leave the town because to keep them safe, they needed to leave the town. And all these different things are going on and happening. And he didn't care because he was fighting for what was right. And it was like it had gotten so deep in him that he could not walk away from it. And he fought. And then when it came to the summation, the last words he gets to say in that trial, he had the jury members all close their eyes, and he told them a story about a little girl that's walking home from the grocery store, bringing groceries home for her mom. On a warm, sunny day, then all of a sudden this big truck pulls up next to her, and they hop out, they're yelling things at her and throwing full beer cans at her and all kinds of other stuff. And then they rape her and torture her and fucking leave her for dead, and she'll never be able to have kids again. And he's like, are you picturing this girl, her broken, beaten body, soaked in their urine and soaked in their semen and left to die? Are you seeing her? Now imagine she's white. And that's all it took for them to open up their eyes and wake up and realize what's sitting right in front of them. Now imagine this person is whatever else instead of whatever thing you've been judging them for. And there's definitely going to be justice in this situation. Somebody is ready to go to bat and is ready to open people's eyes with their speech or with their words. And it is going to bring in a massive success in a situation. Now imagine all your prejudices were gone. Justice, exactly, see? Justice is coming in. Scales are going to be being balanced. There may even be a very large payout coming as well. Success, self-confidence is going to be a part of your everyday life again. Independence, freedom, abundance, beauty. Those with gold make the rules. Some of you might have chose pile 2. Queen of Scythes. Somebody's going to find something on a computer, or somebody may have some sort of files, or somebody may have been records or track of something as well. Somebody may be getting ready to expose things in a very large way. There might even be somebody getting ready to go viral in some sort of way as well for the justice that's being served in this case. It might end up being something that ends up being on the news, like, you know, the radio station down there that we were talking about, or the news or something like that. You have the 4 of Cups. Somebody's going to feel very youthful again, very positive again, like there's no worries again. 58. Like everything's going to be okay. Somebody's very intelligent, very knowledgeable, very wise, and very good at communicating. And this communicator is really going to be able to assert themselves in just the right way, in just the right places, to bring about justice, fairness, and to make massive changes. Your road and your journey was so hard because of just how large of a mission and a purpose that you have in this lifetime. And everything is going to be working out so much better than you may be thinking at this time. So there's absolutely no reason to worry. Somebody may not have seen your value or your worth in the past. Somebody may have overlooked you in some way. Somebody may have underestimated you and how hard you were willing to fight, or how intelligent you were, or how knowledgeable you were about certain things. And they're going to be blown away by this. So that's what I got for pile 3, you guys. Thank you guys so much for being here. I would love to hear more about this case that's going on, or more about this situation that's going on. It would be awesome if you could leave some of your story in that comments. Let people know they're not alone. Helps you to heal, helps others to heal, things like that. Plus it supports my channel. And thank you guys so much for whatever ways you support my channel, whether it be through liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing, leaving timestamps or donations. Anybody who makes purchases, thank you guys so much for that. The support you send my way on this channel helps me to be here to support you guys on your paths. And it really does make a very big difference in my life. So thank you for that. I really do appreciate you guys. And I will see you next time. So I'm going to get to Ladybug's question. So, what will they apologize for? What is this person going to apologize for? Something to do with their communication or maybe their hasty actions. They may be seeing things from a higher perspective at this time than they were in the past. Maybe even for attacking you in some sort of way. They've gone through a very large transformation and it's making them see things very differently than they were in the past. Temperance. Yeah, they're finding peace. They're finding balance. They're getting things together, maybe even handling things or a difficult situation in their life much better than they were in the past. And whatever this difficult situation is, could have been something that caused them to act in the way they did. Yeah, once again, could have caused them to come against you in some sort of way or speak out against you in some sort of way. They could have been feeling very defensive, or they could have been on the attack in some sort of way. And they may have acted prematurely, or they may have acted very quickly without thinking. They could have had some sort of addiction, or they could have been in a very vengeful spirit. At this moment in time, Willow was in this energy. Somebody she loved and cared about so much had passed away, 111 and 44. Somebody she loved so much had passed away, had been taken from her, had been murdered by people. And she went on a vendetta. She went on a spree of needing to get this revenge. And she dived very deeply into her dark magic and into her shadow side to take this revenge. She didn't listen to any of her friends, and she actually fought against her friends, almost killed her friends, almost destroyed the entire world with the actions that she took. At the end of the day, what ended up saving her was the love of her best friend. Was the reminders of who she was. Was the unconditional love that he showed her when he told her that there was no way that he was ever going to stop loving her, regardless of anything she had done or anything she was going to do. 58. She was trying to get him to go away so she could finish destroying the world, because she didn't want to watch him die. But she wasn't going to admit she didn't want to watch him die. And he wasn't going to leave, because if the world was going to end, at that moment, if the world was ending, you'd come over, right? You'd come over and you'd spend the night. He didn't want to have the world end anywhere but next to her, because she was the person he loved most in this world. And so this person definitely got a wake-up call after they have found peace and balance. She was brought back to that peace, and then she was worried about diving into her magic at all anymore, but they're like, no, you can't suppress this magic. You have to use it, because otherwise you'll end up in that same state again. But she had to learn how to trust herself again, and she had to really work very hard to find peace within herself with the actions that she had taken before she could even face her friends again, and before she could say what she had to say. So this person has really had to go through a lot to be able to find peace within themselves with what they've done, and they are wanting to express their apologies to you. And they really are hoping that there is a way to come back from this. But at the same time, they would understand completely if there wasn't, because they really do feel like the things that they did were that bad. Definitely could have been something to do with targeting you in some sort of way, speaking against you or attacking you or lashing out against you in some way, maybe even ganging up on you in some sort of way. They're really wanting to move quickly at this time, though, to bring peace to this situation and to let you know that they are not in that same energy anymore. They've been able to ground themselves. They may have even actually overcome some sort of addictions as well that could have been messing with them in some way. And 88 is here. A lot of this has to do with your hard work. Your hard work to remain very peaceful and very calm. To give life. You may have brought a lot of beauty, a lot of love, and a lot of life to this person's world. And they may have been very blocked from seeing that. They could have been in a state where they felt like everyone was their enemy and everyone was against them in some sort of way. And it could have caused them to react to it in a very bad way. Hi, Tori. So we're going to do your question. You feel guided to organize your content and just flow. How should you start? Or should you start October 25th or November 1st? Feeling like November 1st, 11/1. Seems like a good day to do that. And then, 1, 2, 3. Taking those first steps, taking one step at a time, getting it all organized leading up to that. I can understand that. Yeah, my anxiety definitely is worse when I'm feeling scattered or when there's a lot going on. It can definitely bring up a lot more rabbit holes or a lot more worries or fears or misunderstandings sometimes too. So let's see. We got the King of Wands, the Nine of Cups, and the Eight of Cups. There might be a need of walking away from having to expose or be heard when it comes to some sort of emotional thing, or having to hear some sort of emotional thing. So you might need to kind of leave behind this need to hear something, or this need for some sort of there's like a need to forgive and to let go in some way. You might not be feeling as passionate or driven in some way. You might not be feeling as creative at this time. And it could be, there could be something involved with your ego going on, or with holding on to an attachment that's unhealthy in some way to some sort of emotions that were shared, or some sort of feelings that were shared. Three of Wands. It's not about those, hold on, this ain't no place for no hero. This ain't no place for no better man. This ain't no place for no hero to call home. It's all about those who are there to stop you falling from your ladder. And they can't be there to stop you from falling from your ladder if they're constantly walking away, or constantly blocking people out, or constantly judging people, or constantly feeling like they need to punish people or take revenge or things like that. It is very much against a lot of the things that we're told when it comes to dealing with situations, to be there till the end, or to, not feel like, okay, there might be some sort of like slight victim mentality going on as well, that needs to be left behind, where you might be thinking, these people did this to me, which caused this, but these people might have done this, but our reaction is all on our own. The way we handled something, or the things that we did in situations, were our own, and they're separate from what other people may have done. How people treat me is on them, how I react is on me. Or, say you're in a situation where it's extremely codependent. Both parties are codependent. It's not just one. both parties are choosing to stay, and both parties are hurting each other at the end of the day in whatever way with their codependency. That's the non-victimhood mentality way of looking at it, where the victimhood mentality way of looking at it is, I was in an abusive situation that I wasn't able to leave, and they forced all this on me, and I had no control over it. Unless we're like locked in a basement somewhere, we have control over it. And we're able to move away from those situations, and we're able to end those situations. But sometimes we don't want to let go of them. We want to hold on tightly because we don't want to be the one to walk away, or we don't want to be the one to end things, or whatever the case may be. And at the same time, you know, sometimes even just coming to terms with that can also help us to be more okay with staying in certain situations that we might overreact or jump the gun on as well. Because you might be having some sort of issues with like jumping the gun on certain things. And that could be causing you to be a little bit more anxious as well, moving a bit too quickly. So you might want to, maybe that's why I'm feeling like November 1st is the better day for that as well. And I know that kind of went off track of what you were asking about. But in some way that's connected to that, to where maybe taking that little extra time is going to help you a lot, because you're not going to be feeling so anxious about it, or like it's such a time crunch to get to where you need to be. And it'll give you that extra time to be able to smooth over some of those things. And taking it that little extra slow is going to help you as well, to be able to just kind of take it one day at a time instead of feeling like you need to rush forward in these situations. Oh, I didn't realize that was kind of added on to that first one. And all over the place, so you want to get organized, but at the same time finding that balance of not overdoing it. I totally get that. Yep, that is a lot of what what was just kind of coming out in there is, you know, like, you don't want to end up falling off this ladder you're climbing up by putting too much on yourself too quickly and overwhelming yourself to where you end up repeating a cycle that you've had in the past of, it's kind of almost like a self-sabotage type of thing, where you're feeling like you need to be working and you need to be getting it done, and it needs to be done now, and kind of beating yourself up over not getting it done quicker or things like that, when in all actuality you're doing just fine and everything's right on track and everything's going good. And giving yourself that extra time to think and organize and plan is really going to help you out so much. So I hope that helps, beautiful. You're welcome, Ladybug. Thank you as well. Yeah, it could definitely have been projecting, Ladybug, and it could have also even been saying certain things to you, or saying certain things to other people around you as well that could have been the issue there that they're looking to remedy. There could have been infidelity. I really wasn't feeling infidelity in there, but there could have been, especially since we had the Eight of Wands twice, and that's a lot of passion, that's a lot of drive, that's like a lot of movement, and, you know, but I really wasn't getting infidelity from that at all. So that might actually be something that you're insecure about, or worried about, which could be projecting onto the situation, and it may actually be a different situation than that. You're welcome, Tori. Thank you as well. I can totally understand why you'd be nervous or worried about that. You know, I've been doing it so long, but at the same time, I do remember that. When I was 15 and I was in the group home I was in, we were supposed to be having group sessions once a week because there's 13 teenage girls, and that way we can work out anything we need to work out. We had one. It was the first week I was there. The whole 6 months I was there, we had one. We were also supposed to be having an individual counseling session once a month, every one of us, and we had none. And so this one counseling session, though, I took very big advantage of it. She had us all go around this circle and say something about ourselves that everyone may not know. And as it's going around this circle and they're all saying, oh, my favorite color is blue. My middle name's this. Whatever other shallow things they're saying that are really, not very deep and just the least about themselves that they could give away. It's like grating on my nerves and grating on my nerves. And it got around to my turn. I think I went like 6th or 7th. And I was just like, this is the time. I had never really talked about it, never really opened up about it, never really expressed it. But I told the story of how my mother's boyfriend had molested me and my younger sister. And as I sat and told that story and looked around that group of girls, I realized that every single one of them in that group, and this is why they were like defensive and closed off and like turned sideways, and their legs are together and their arms are together and their arms are crossed over their chest or whatever, like blocking the whole world out. But I realized as I'm looking around that group that each and every one of those girls had been through something just like that. Every one of them had tears coming down their faces. And I was right, because over the next couple weeks, every single one of them came to me to talk about those situations that they had been through and to ask me for help in dealing with those situations. And even the new girls that were coming into the house were coming to me for that advice too. They were being directed by the other girls that were there to come talk to me, or the other girls were asking me to go talk to them about what they had been through. Even my daughter has come to me and asked me to talk to her friend before, because her friend was going through a lot of things, and she's like, and I can help her, but there's some things that I don't feel like I'm giving her the most help that I could be giving her, that I feel like you could be giving her better help. And that's the nice part about exposing those parts of yourself and putting yourself out there like that. You inspire others to do it. You also free yourself more. And you bring so much healing to other people through your words. It's amazing the kind of healing you can spread just in exposing yourself and putting yourself out there. And it is scary. And yes, sometimes you can get hurt by some of those things that you're putting out there. But if we live our lives in fear and regulate what we're doing based off of that fear, then we will never live to the fullest of our capabilities. So you're going to be just fine with exposing those things and putting your story out there in this world, because your story is going to heal so many more people than you know. And it's going to make anything else that you may go through because of putting your story out there so insignificant in comparison to the beauty that you're creating. Hi, Moonlightic. Nice to see you, beautiful. Sharing those parts of yourself and taking accountability and responsibility. Nice. Sounds like a good thing. Stockholm Syndrome. Stockholm Syndrome, yeah. That's a hard one, ain't it? And nobody really knows what those people went through or what the situation was like for them from their outside perspective. 411 missing information. But, you can definitely end up falling in love with or end up loving as a family people that have abused you or people that have kidnapped you or things like that. And it can really be confusing to try to see those people as the bad guys, especially if those people have been the people that have been there for you throughout your life in some way, or been there for you in some way that lifted you up at some point, or things like that. To be able to see them as the villain is really hard to do sometimes, even when things are exposed that kind of shine a light on some of the things they've done that are not so good. And at the same time, a lot of what we learn to do on this channel is to forgive, and is to love, and is to let go of the hurt and the pain, which could be seen as something similar as well. To be able to still love the people who have hurt you, but in doing that, it doesn't destroy you so much either. But at the same time, you don't necessarily need to be remaining with any abusive people as well, or, remaining in situations that are going to hurt you. You're very welcome, Ladybug. Thank you guys for being here as well. I'm not sorry. And you know, I've said this to people so many times, but I'm going to say it again. I'm not sorry that it happened. Not in any way. And it's not because I enjoyed it. It's not because I'd want it to happen again. It's not, you know, but without that, I wouldn't be here to talk to any of you. I wouldn't have been there to talk to any of them. I wouldn't have been here to live in the purpose that I'm here living. I was able to take that and make it something meaningful and give it purpose, give it a reason for being, which is so healing in and of itself as well. And that's another reason why it's so important to tell your stories. And if people did not want you to share the awful ways that they treated you, then they should have treated you better. You have every right to share your story. So if you're feeling guilty about it, there's no reason to feel guilty about it. You have every right to share that story. And sharing that story is so important to your healing process. It really is. You can't fully heal while you're hiding those things away in the closet. I am definitely good at making people extra emotional. Then again, I am really good at being extra emotional too. Tears can be so fucking healing and cleansing as well. You're very welcome, beautiful. Thank you as well. I am so glad that I can inspire you guys and move you guys and make you feel like you have a reason for being here and that you are doing this exact same thing for people in your world, because that's what you're doing by telling your stories. And that's what you're doing by healing. And that's what you're doing by inspiring others in the same ways. Have a good day too, Ladybug. Nice to see you. Thank you, Underscape. And I will see you guys all later. Hope you guys enjoyed this reading today. Once again, thank you so much for the support you send my way. Likes, shares, comments, subscribes, timestamps, donations, purchases. Everything you guys do to support me on this channel really helps me to be here to support all of you on your path as well. So thank you guys for that. And I really appreciate you guys more than you know. You make a much bigger difference in my life than you know. And I am so grateful for that. I hope you guys have a beautiful night or day, whatever it is, wherever you are when you're watching. Bye-bye, guys.